Let's begin by warming up our shoulders. Standing shoulder width apart, rotating the arms forward and back. Keeping the body relatively relaxed. You can place the palms facing the sky or ceiling, doing smaller, faster circles to really increase that blood flow to the shoulders. Also warming up the scapula and upper back, making sure to move in both directions, with the palms up and down, small circles and large. Next, we'll open and close the arms, opening the chest, drawing the scapula, the shoulder blades towards each other, crossing the arms, alternating, left arm on top, then right arm on top, moving back and forth at your own pace. You might want to move a bit faster than I'm moving or a bit slower, just doing what feels good for your body. Next, coming to a complete stop, position your feet a bit wider than shoulder width apart now, and we're rotating the torso left and right. Now, this one's a bit unique. It's almost like swinging a baseball bat. You're pivoting off of one foot, looking over your shoulder, allowing one arm to extend straight back, opening the chest and shoulder, while the other arm bends at the elbow, chambering across the chest, allowing momentum to carry your body left and right, opening your torso, massaging your spine, and allowing your scapula and chest to open. And develop your own rhythm. Again, it might be a bit slower or faster than I'm moving here. Just see what feels good for you. Allowing that pivot off of your feet to aid in the twist. If you get dizzy, you can always come back to center, take a deep breath. And shaking it out, making sure the body feels loose and open. Next, squatting and pulsing gently for a moment, grasping onto your opposite ankle with your opposite hand, and bracing your arm, allowing you to twist, opening up your chest, your lungs, your rib cage, and creating a comfortable spinal twist, looking up to your extended arm all the way across your fingertips. Again, opposite hand to opposite ankle, bracing your upper arm on the inside of your opposite thigh, twisting back and forth. Next, coming to a table position, touching opposite knee and opposite elbow, reaching up to the sky with that leg and that arm. It's a great exercise for creating balance and any kind of asymmetry that may be occurring in the back. And it also helps to aid in building our kinetic chains. That's when muscles work together to perform a single action. So moving left, then right, opposite knee, opposite elbow, touch, reach, hold, really extending out through the foot, through the hand, creating space for the spine while it's engaged, while the back is working. Remembering to breathe. Touch, reach, and come back down. Good, almost there. Good, really extending up as high as you can. You can even look up slightly to help open up the cervical vertebrae. And then bringing your hips to your heels, extending your arms, allowing your spine to decompress a little after that much engagement. Good. So next, moving through spinal extension and contraction. Tucking the chin in, exhaling, drawing the spine up, and inhale, drawing the navel down. Next, bringing your hip and ear together, almost like you're a dog wagging the entire body. Next, holding a strong plank. This one's especially unique in that some planks are a little straighter, but you really want to lift up through your legs, lift up through your arms, actively pressing with your feet and with your hands. Really making sure that your spine, your back, your hips, your buttocks, legs, and arms are all actively engaged. Remember to breathe here, and even though you're engaging your entire body from your heels to your wrists, remembering to relax. You can do this by breathing deeply and by focusing your mind. This is a great exercise to strengthen the core. And in order to release the spine, release the core, you can press back, do a few more rotations, extension and contraction. The next is a personal favorite. It's a plank variation that will allow us to lift off our heels and hands, extending our hips up, pointing the toes down, touching the ground if we can with our toes, and lifting our hips as high as we can towards the ceiling. Arms are straight. The chin can be tucked. You can look down at your feet, or you can relax the head back. It really depends what feels best for your neck and for your body. Remembering to breathe, lifting your hips as high as you can, just a little bit more, and slowly coming back down. Make sure to shake out any tension you might be feeling in your neck or shoulders or back, maybe even your hips. And then slowly coming over onto your belly and extending your legs and arms like you're skydiving, lifting your arms and legs up off the ground and actively extending through your legs and arms, engaging the back. Fantastic exercise for improving posture and for engaging muscle groups that are often not actively engaged if we've been spending quite a bit of time sitting or living a relatively sedentary lifestyle. This is a great exercise to improve back health. Remembering to lift up through the cervical vertebrae, the vertebrae in our neck. Lift out through our arms and legs. We're actively stretching out as we're lifting. Pressing back. And then coming back up to a standing position. We'll do some jumping jacks next to get that blood flow from the core back to our limbs. And to get our heart rate up a little more, improving circulation for the whole body. This is a great exercise for our lymphatic system. And a little bit of cardio every day is very important for our cardiovascular health. Remembering to breathe. And again, finding a pace that's appropriate for your body. Maybe it's a bit faster or a bit slower than the pace I'm moving at. Just see what feels right for you. Developing a nice rhythm. Remembering to breathe, almost there. Just a bit more. Again, the goal is to get that heart rate up, to breathe deeply, and then coming back down. Moving into push-up in rotations. This is a great exercise for getting the back and the arms and the legs to work as one unit to develop our kinetic chains in the body. So as you push up from that push-up position, extending the arm up, looking up. If you'd like to modify this, you can use a kneeling position. And again, the pacing and the timing is really up to your body, determining what feels good for you. A great way to strengthen the upper body, especially the back. And then releasing that tension by bringing our hips to our heels. Good. Getting back up, back into jumping jacks again. Really giving our cardiovascular system a nice amount of tone for today. Again, remembering to breathe and finding the right pace for you. If you're finding that the class is moving a bit too slowly, increase the repetitions, increase the speed. Again, if you feel like you're out of breath and you're not feeling capable of keeping up the pace, and slow it down. Find the right pace for your body. Good. Coming back down, coming into kind of a mountain pose. You're going to touch your foot with your opposite hand and then reach that same arm up before placing it back down on the ground. Touch your toes, lift your arm up, and back down. Again, a great exercise for developing that symmetry across the spine, across the back. It's an excellent exercise if you notice that one side is a bit more tight than the other along the back. And it also builds a great amount of strength and coordination through the body, which helps long term in helping our posture, helping our ability to move through life without pain, with ease in the body. Again, bringing your hips to our heels, relieving that tension in the arms and back. A little back extension and contraction. And coming into a seated position. Going all the way down, placing your hands underneath your buttocks or lower back. And lifting both legs off the ground, head is off the ground as well. And extending each leg one at a time, alternate leg raises. You can modify them to kicks if you like. But the main goal is to keep your legs off the ground, keep your head off the ground, pressing into the ground with your arms. It's a great way to strengthen the core, especially the abdominal muscles. Moving with both legs now, up and down, moving through this leg raise exercise while remembering to breathe. Holding the legs in a static position, about 6 inches off the ground. Holding the legs at a 45-degree angle. And back down to 6 inches. Remembering to breathe, focusing, engaging the core. Back to 45. And back down. 45, back down. Back and forth. Working that lower range, really engaging our core now, and releasing. Pressing the arms and heels into the ground, really focusing on engaging the glutes now. Oddly enough, the glutes really dictate whether or not we have good posture and how we walk. So engaging the glutes independently is really important, making sure that they're firing correctly, that they're toned and engaged. Engaging the glutes, lifting, and then releasing, slowly coming back down. Really focusing on contracting and holding that contraction with the glutes when you're lifting your hips up. And as always, remembering to breathe deeply. Really focusing your awareness on engaging your glutes as you come up. Hold, contract, and then release, come back down. Good, almost there. Really focusing on that complete contraction of the glutes. And releasing. Good, sitting back up. From a seated position, bringing one leg over the opposite knee. Placing that foot down. Grasping onto the outside of our hip with the opposite arm. And rotating into a spinal twist. It's a classic exercise, an ancient exercise as well, for nourishing the spine. Breathing deeply during the twist can also aid in stimulating and massaging the internal organs. And next, coming into a cross-legged or a comfortable seated position, depending on what feels good for your body. And you're going to rotate your core, so rotating the spine itself around your hips, almost like stirring a pot. The idea here is to articulate each vertebrae in your spine, really focusing on articulation and rhythmic movement. This is a great way to nourish and massage the spinal column. Keeping your sit bones locked into the ground, just rotating along the spine around your hips, clockwise, counterclockwise, and as always, you can move faster or slower depending on what feels good for your body. And next, another movement of articulation for the spine. Inhale, drawing the solar plexus forward. Exhale, contracting the spine, drawing the spine back, moving back and forth. You can take shallow breaths and pulse the spine forward and back relatively quickly if you like, or you can take your time and really extend, really contract using longer, deeper breaths. Okay, just a few more, remembering to breathe deeply. Take a moment just to focus the body. And when you're ready, standing back up. So again, one of my favorite exercises, rotating, looking over your shoulder, extending the legs, rotating the hands, the arms out, opening the chest, and synchronizing this movement with your breath. As you turn, inhaling, and as you exhale, coming back to center, bending the knees, bringing the palms back down towards the ground. Inhale, looking over your shoulder as far as you can, rotating your arms out, opening the chest, even stretching out along the legs. And then exhale back to center, left and right, back and forth. Using your inhalation and exhalation to time the length of each stretch. And next, just opening up the arms, the shoulders, the chest a little bit. Keeping the hands tucked in towards the shoulders. Some half arm circles. Just a quick exercise to release any tension in the shoulders. Really slow it down and take your time if you like. Okay, next, placing the arms over opposite shoulders and just rotating the trunk left and right. I'm enjoying going a little bit faster today, just helping to open up the spine, bring some more circulation into my back, but you can slow it down, depending again on what feels good for you. Next, placing your hands on your hips or your lower back even, and you can just do some slow rotations, almost like tracing an oval on the ground, hip rotations. Really slow it down to help articulate and identify any tension in the hips, any sticking points that you may have. Making sure to move clockwise and counterclockwise, working both sides. Again, you can move back and forth, smaller circles or larger circles, faster or slower. Just use this time to explore what feels good for your body, what feels therapeutic and nourishing. Next, one of my favorite exercises as well, so we'll be going down into a pulsing squat and then explosively lifting. If coming off the ground feels a little too engaging for you, or if it's a bit too strenuous, you can just lift up quickly, just coming back up into a standing position. Otherwise, you can try this hop or this plyometric exercise. You'll be squatting and pulsing gently, and then explosively lifting into a little frog hop. Back and forth. shaking out the legs. And one of my favorite ways to release tension from the body, rotating left and right, keeping my arms relaxed, allowing them to gently massage my low back and core. And now as I engage my legs, it's a little bit of a bounce. Still keeping my arms relaxed, I'm allowing my arms to come up over my shoulders, making contact with my upper back, rotating across my shoulders on the outside of my shoulders, massaging them, massaging my core, and then massaging my belly with my hands. The idea here is to bring warmth and attention, presence into the body. You shake out that tension and take a nice deep breath. And that's our class for today. Thank you.